The year 2013 started out with murder and followed with more crime throughout the year. News 18's Holly Campbell takes a look at crime this past year.
Less than 2 weeks into the year, Lafayette police worked their first murder case. 62-year-old Joel Hirschman of Brook was being held against his will in his own truck by 46-year-old Stephen Mosley. Police started looking for Hirschman when his friend called 911.
He called me a little bit ago and said, this guy is really drunk. What do I do? I said, then take him back to where he come from. He says he doesn't have a home. He's got to go to the shelter in Lafayette. So I said, well, then take him there.
Okay.
And I did not hear from him for a long time, so I just called him, and he said, I'm sitting here in front of the IHOP, and he's got a gun to me.
When police located the truck, officers exchanged fire with Mosley. No one was hit, but officers say Mosley took his own life before crashing the truck into a house. Mosley and Hirschman were pronounced dead at the scene. In February, 20-year-old David Rodenbarger was accused of fatally stabbing his mother, 41-year-old Michelle Haskins, and his 6-year-old half-sister Jillian in White County. In March, LPD worked their second murder. 25-year-old Marisol Arze Luan was found dead in her Lafayette apartment. Autopsy results show Arze Luan died from trauma to her brain. Police got a tip her husband, 32-year-old Misiel Sanchez of Lafayette, was responsible for her death. Police found Sanchez and the couple's 3 children in Arkansas, where he was later arrested on preliminary murder charges. In May, 21-year-old Elizabeth Wessner was arrested after she hit and killed 73-year-old Donna Ubalor with her car. Ubalor was working in her garden when neighbors say she was hit by the car.
Looked like she had been trampled underneath this vehicle. We were talking to her, trying to get a pulse. There was no pulse.
Wessner pleaded guilty to operating a vehicle while intoxicated with a controlled substance in the blood causing death and possession of a controlled substance. Wessner was sentenced to 17 years in jail and 1 year probation. In November, 33-year-old Ryan Moyna was charged with murder after starting a house fire that killed 6-year-old Caitlin Lane. Prosecutors say Moyna admitted to setting 2 papers on fire with a lighter, knowing there were no working smoke detectors in the house. Investigators identified 3 points of origin of the fire, 2 of which were in the bedroom where Caitlin was found. 53-year-old David Trueblood was also injured in the fire. Caitlin's family says Trueblood was babysitting her when she died.
He's beating himself up, just emotionally, because he doesn't know what happened. What if I did this? We've all gone through this what if.
In other crime news, 4 doctors from Wagner Medical Clinics in Kokomo and Burlington were accused of overprescribing pain medicine to patients, linking them to 27 patient deaths. 9 clinical employees were arrested in 2013 and charged with a combined 95 felony charges. The charges included dealing controlled substances and narcotics. The doctors and employees are expected to be in court next year. Holly Campbell, News 18.